Well, hello. So before we bring our can he hear us? He can hear us. Before we bring our guest on, I want to say that we were in the green room where we were all talking beforehand, and I said, "Oh, there's a story about my shirt," and then you guys started talking about what you were wearing. So the reason I am wearing this shirt today, okay, number one, because it's stolen from my brother's house, and I want him to see the video and get pissed off. But really, it's because I'm being a trailblazer. I want to know why there's so much pressure for the women in real estate to always be dressed professionally, so on and so forth. And Phil Ferranda thinks nothing of coming on Real Estate Unscripted in a stained t-shirt. Can somebody out there explain this to me? Nope, actually you don't, because I'm trailing the blaze, blazing the trail. I'm wearing my t-shirt. So
double standard.
It is a double standard.
And I can wear this twice. You can only wear it once, and people are like, she wore that already.
And you could show up to somebody's house like that, and you wouldn't have to be like, pardon my appearance. Like,
no, I throw on a blazer and I'm fine. It ain't right. I also comb my hair once a week.
Yeah, well, I only wash mine once a week. So I want to give the correct introduction. Do you have our guest's full name there? I always forget. Oh, here
Ricky Stever is what I have.
No, come on. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
First of his name.
He has a full. And wait. Oh, ready?
I'm waiting.
Do the drum roll. Our guest today is Albert Ricky Stever the third.
Third of his name.
You could have put that up when I was looking for it, person. Tim. So I'm super excited. Ricky's a friend of J. Phillip Real Estate and a friend of mine and Phil's. And he recently went to EXP. So we're going to pick his brain about some of that. But let's just welcome Ricky so we can have a little conversation.
Hey, everybody. Real quick, Jen. I just want to say something real quick. I wish I had the options that women do to get dressed. I'll be honest. Us men, it's
hold on. Yeah.
There. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, if I could wear a nice, cute blouse, some of the nice slacks.
I wore these today. These were fun with a pink t-shirt and jeans. I was pretty happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys have a little more options than we do. I just want to say that real quick. We're pretty much, it is what it is.
Yeah, but you know what we have? We have pockets.
In other industries, like in court, it cracks me up because, the men have to have a suit, have to have a tie, blah, blah, blah. And these women attorneys have figured out judges can't tell the difference between yoga pants and anything else. And the women are all like super casual and comfy, but the law for how you're supposed to dress in court or the tradition is based on men. So you have to wear a suit. So they're like in their yoga pants and their blazer.
A yoga suit.
I wish I could wear yoga pants. I don't think my wife would be happy about it. I don't think people want to see me in it. But I would love that. They look comfortable. I mean, come on, Phil. They do look comfortable.
All right. So really quick.
You can wear them. It's just that other people have to look at it.
My mother gets us front row tickets to where Macbeth, is it Macbeth Shakespeare, where he's talking to this girl, to be or not to be or whatever. Anyway, so Patrick Stewart is the star of this Shakespeare play. We're in the front row. He comes out. He's wearing basically what are really tight yoga pants and a t-shirt, and his package is like this big, and he comes to the front of the stage, and it's literally like 3 feet away from me. Then he starts talking, and he's freaking spitting all over me. So now he's spitting on me, and his package is in my face, and that was it. I start cracking up. My mother starts cracking up. My daughters start cracking up. The old man behind us starts beating us with the playbill. Shh, stop it. Behave yourselves. Grow up.
Oh, I'm sure Patrick Stewart's never had anybody crack up in the front row with his business.
There should not be a front row.
No.
There probably will no longer be a front row after COVID. spitting all over me.
Oh, man.
That's
At least
what's
the
great about
package was
Zoom.
there, right? I mean, did you enjoy the package at least? Did you enjoy the view?
No. Nobody enjoys that. Okay. I want to like tell men that. Nobody wants to do that. Well, should we talk about real estate?
Let's go.
All right. So what was it that we first wanted to, when I had an idea earlier today and Jen said, no, we're going to talk about this. What was this?
Well, just because let's talk about your idea first, then we'll get to the other stuff.
Okay. So I asked, and I promised not to call you Albert if you promise not to call me Joseph.
Okay, Joseph.
Okay, Al.
He's bugging me, Ricky Stever.
We are getting a lot of questions from buyers who are basically saying this. The market has shot up so much in the past 4 or 5 months that the house that I'm looking at, which is assessed for $500,000, is going to sell for $700,000. Are my taxes going to go up by 40%? And it's a legitimate question, but it is not municipal taxation Candyland. All right. So what do you guys think would happen to the taxes if every sale is going to be that much over assessment? Is there going to be a class of houses that pays more taxes than other commensurate houses?
No, it doesn't typically work that way.
It does not work that way. Do you think so, Ricky?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I live in Patterson, and they reassess by what it's sold for. So my taxes have gone up.
So that's what I was going to say. That the town can at any time exercise that option and that right based on New York State rule. So I think I would be hesitant to say that. I would say that any purchase that you make should always be prepared to your taxes going up to near 4%.
Always be prepared to have your taxes go up, but 40%, unlikely. So here's what's more likely to happen. First of all, as assessed values rise, the rate of taxation goes down. All right? Because if we say, well, what was it, 3.3%, 4%, the school budget is what it is. And there's tremendous political pressure on school boards to not have the school budget go up from 100 million to 150 million. So the rate of taxation will go down. So this is more likely how it happens. The house you just bought for $700,000 will be reassessed. Is it going to go up 40%? That I doubt, but I do know that houses like it will all go up a little bit and everybody will share the pain. And that is why everybody's taxes go up. But that doesn't create budget Candyland for your municipality.
Well, I mean, for us, at least for our clients, the first thing we do is we call up the town to find out how they handle every situation in every town. And then we give that information to our client. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? I mean, we have to do our due diligence to find out how every town works. Now, I have a question for you. I do a lot of business in Orange County too, right? And a lot of people are moving to Orange County. So my question to, the question that we were talking about, now these schools, say they had, 1,900 kids in the school, right? And now everybody went up there and the school doubles and now they have to do renovations, they have to expand. I mean, think what's going to happen to those taxes.
Well, it's even happening in Westchester. It's even happening. My kids go to Ossining schools, and Ossining schools are crowded. They need more room. So it's happening. It's happening everywhere. Orange County has always been, to a degree, next Chester.
Yeah, it's
right.
I mean, you can look at it's insane what's going on over there right now. It's fun to be a part of, but it's absolutely insane. But again, these taxes are low. All these kids are moving in and all these families are moving in. And, people say, well, somebody's moving in there, somebody's moving out, somebody's moving in. But, if people are moving up here for the schools, the school's going to get overcrowded. And then what's going to happen? You got to hire more teachers. You got to do additions. This all costs money.
Yep.
So that's one of the other things that, me and this other realtor were talking about the other day. And, we feel bad for people who buy homes. And the next thing you know, your taxes, not double, but they go up a quarter. It's a lot of money.
Like I said, and even when I start and I tell agents as part of their buyer consultation, they should have the tax conversation and know the tax rates for each town, because there's still a lot of inconsistency. Certain towns redid the entire reval, but there's still so many towns in this area that, a reval hasn't been done in a long time, and you've got hidden houses in there with super low taxes, and they hit the market, and it's just something that can come back and bite you. But also, obviously, besides coming back and bite you, people need to understand, what it means to own a house, and taxes is a huge part,
especially in this area.
This is probably why the mortgage, not just the mortgage interest tax deduction, but the deductibility of property taxes is important. And without politicizing it, which is nearly impossible to do, we did just fine for 100 years, allowing people to write off their primary resident property taxes, and to only allow them to write off the first $10,000. It's pretty rough, because we're not talking about people in mansions that have taxes of $15,000 and $20,000. So,
well, and again, we're in a certain area that you go to the rest of the country, the taxes are a quarter or an eighth of what we have. I mean, we're just in a different situation where we live.
Do you know why that is?
Our schools.
It's layers of government in addition to schools. Like, for example, if you go across the border into Connecticut, Greenwich, town of 80,000 people, 70,000 people, has one high school, one superintendent, one principal. If you go to Greenburgh, New York, you have like 10 school districts, and even the tiny school districts like Ardsley and Irvington and Hastings and Elmsford and all of these municipalities all have separate police departments, separate village government, separate town government, different 100 different things, which across the border they would not have. Like, they don't have county government in Connecticut.
Yeah.
All right. So the layers of taxation here are brutal, and that contributes terribly.
Look at Carmel. Carmel, I mean, when I went there, they pulled from 8 towns. I mean, think about it. 8 towns went to one school.
What exacerbates Carmel and Putnam specifically is that there's no real commercial tax base to defray it either. If you go to like White Plains, there's enough commercial for the taxes to be relatively low compared to other Westchester municipalities, because there's a lot of commercial taxation.
Gotcha.
Well, there's a difference too. The ratables are really where you get get that money that is needed for the school budget, not just the property taxes. But in Putnam County, what I'm trying to say is sales taxes go to the county anyway. It wouldn't matter.
Ricky's point, though, is the big takeaway thus far, though.
Yeah.
Go to the assessor, do your due diligence, and don't just call the listing agent and ask, do you think the taxes will go up?
I don't answer. When a buyer's agent asks me what the taxes are, I don't answer.
Verify the taxes.
Why are you asking me? It's on the listing. Second of all, why are you asking me? Call. You got to call. I'm not giving
You're a little nicer than I am, Jen. I'll be honest. They ask me, I go, you didn't do your due diligence yet?
Yeah, do your job.
That's the first thing I ask. You haven't done your due diligence yet? And
We're
you
gonna
wonder
take
why some of these listing agents are only giving out so much commission, because you're doing their job too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some of the issue right now, right? I mean, as a listing agent, you're doing sometimes 35 to 45% of the buyer's work because they're not doing their due diligence. So we have to. And why are you going to pay out a commission when somebody's not doing their job?
Yeah. If you just want to be paid for unlocking the door, no bueno.
No
bueno.
And listen, I have a team, and they know. I mean, we've written out steps, things you have to get done, things you have to check, and that's one of them. I mean, we have a deal in Pauling right now. I was so proud of my agent. She calls me up. She was like, I'm looking at the assessed value. She went through the whole process with the mortgage company, and she was like, Ricky, if they go up, she was like, they can't afford it. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. But I was like, but you do need to make the next step and call that town to figure out how they do everything. And then you can give the proper information to everybody else. and it's going to work out. So we're excited, but that's the proper way of doing it.
To what Carlos just said, Carlos, seriously, like we just listed a house in Pauling and we listed a house in South Salem. Which one do you think, based on square footage, amenities, and blah, 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 has higher taxes?
Pauling. But Pauling's always been like that.
Higher.
Then you have the village taxes on top of it. You live in the village.
They're not in the village though. But then I had a house that I sold in Carmel, $700,000. We sold it full price first weekend, and they were spending $1.5 million, and they wanted Fox Lane schools. Fox Lane in Bedford
School.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. So we finally get a house for them in Fox Lane schools, $1.6 million. Same taxes as Mayapack at $700,000, and all of those amenities. It was like within a few $1,000s. I'm sorry, Carmel, within a few $1,000s. So
do my own due diligence and not take anyone's word for it. 100%. Go to the primary source. It's all verifiable.
Really, Bill, you're not going to take my word for it? What kind of crap is that? You take my word for everything else.
Trust but verify. Right, Bill?
Like how I talk to my clients?
We're always verifying. I mean, and again, that's why for us, we have my assistant that is constantly double checking everybody. And sometimes things fall through the crack, right? I mean, we're all human.
While we're speaking of other agents, literally, so one of my agents' mom passed, so she has a listing under my name because she doesn't want to deal with her mom's property and blah, blah, blah. The deal fell apart. It went back on. They didn't bother to tell me. So I'm getting like requests this weekend for showings and this and that. So this lady finally gets in yesterday, right? And then she proceeded, not thank you for spending your time on a Sunday to make sure that I get into this property. I'm sorry your agent friend's mom passed. She then sent me a text. This is the most unprofessional thing I have ever seen, and blah, 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 blah. So when her offer came in half an hour later, I really wanted to respond. Too bad you were just such a bitch to me.
Oh my Lord. But it happens. I mean, but I have a question for you guys, right?
It happens.
9 weeks ago, I put up 5 homes, over 200 offers.
Oh, right? And you forgot to email one person back that you didn't accept their offer and they tried to cut your head off? Is that
you ready? My new thing in every listing I get, it says, make sure your notifications on showing times work. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? And I had 57 showings last week. I had 57 showings, 37 offers, right?
I'm not emailing you individually. Sorry.
No, it's just going to happen like that. And I had some ladies, you're unprofessional. I go, listen, I also have a website, right? I have a website that everything goes through. So me and my client can see everything. If not, how do you try to get everything from every single email?
You require offers to come through a website.
Yes.
Yeah. So do I.
And the reason why is because, again, I got blasted 3 weeks ago? Somebody sent me something and went to spam. I don't check my spam.
And email's really hard. I mean, to keep up with it, it's getting worse and harder and harder for me to really keep track of emails.
Yeah. I have found that agents that scream the loudest about
professionalism,
you're not professional accusation, they're actually projecting.
Well, and what about the ones like where you're not being nice? I'm not here to be nice to you. I am protecting my clients. I'm not here to make friends. If you want to be friends, let's go have drinks and then I'm nice. But right now, I'm representing my client, and that's that.
I agree with you, and like I said, this is a crazy market, right? Not enough homes, people getting outbid. I mean, and she'll tell you, we've been working with 3 clients for the last 3 months. We probably put in 2-3 offers a week, and they get denied.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, I always say with everything, you have to set the table, right? You have to let everybody know what's going on, you know, what's going to happen. And as long as you do that, I mean, everybody should be fine with you. But I mean, I feel bad for this one couple. I think we've put in 50 offers for them.
It's really tough. And it's much worse. We speak to our very good friend, Anthony Lamacchia. He's up in like the Boston area. He's got top producing agents that have put in like over 70 something offers and only have a couple of deals together.
Yeah.
Because we're so heavy on the buy ends, and there's just a lot less inventory up there even than we have.
Well, we had a little lull a couple of weeks ago, right? We had a little lull. It was kind of, and we put a bunch of listings up. I mean, literally, we accepted one. Something happened. We went to go back. They're all putting in multiple offers in different homes. Yeah. And then what happens if they get one, they pull them, and you're like,
thank you. And all of our rules are set up to protect the buyers, and the sellers are supposed to like disclose everything. But why aren't buyers required to disclose if they have accepted offer on another property? Why aren't buyers required to disclose if they have offers in on other properties? Why?
I don't know, but I feel bad for my clients. I mean, we recovered. Oh. We got them somebody within 24 hours. But again, it's
the buyers. Yeah.
Or the best one is, I have cash. I'm going to go over way over, promise everything, and then don't call you for a week. And they go, I'm cash. I'm going to come down 50,000. What do you think?
Yeah. Cash does not trump the math. Because at the end of the day, when it closes, the bank's going to give you a check that will be cash.
Well,
so cash is not a get out of jail free card.
Well, that's how people are acting right now. I can tell you that much.
Well, people are crazy.
On the sales side, I'll tell you what I do. I educate the sellers on the entire process and the MLS rules, and explain to them that our MLS requires to report when there is an accepted offer. And then I explain to them the trend of doing an inspection, taking 8 million days. What's this new trend of I have to wait for the inspection report? If you were present, you know exactly the major things that are going on with that house.
Yep.
So anyway, then the trend of coming back with a laundry list of bullshit that some of that stuff you could see when you were walking through the house and you made the offer, when you saw the crack in the fireplace or anything else, right? They come back with this laundry list of stuff. And even in this market, if they sense it's not getting 80 million things, this is still happening, 80 million offers. So by the time I'm done with my seller's consultation, they are aware that it's not an accepted offer until inspections are done and someone comes back and says, we are moving forward. So from now on, when I accept an offer, I put in writing contingent upon the completion of your inspections. The accepted offer is contingent on that.
Well,
good morning.
Then they move, they hustle, they move faster, and they can't complain.
Well, I did the other way. I say the accepted offer, like you said, is contingent after after the inspection. So I'm not putting an AO until after the inspection
but as per MLS, that has to be as per your seller. So make sure that you are educating.
Everything's written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing you said that I really like, and I'm going to repeat it. You put in your listings that agents should have their alerts on for showing time.
I love that.
Because I've had very established agents say, well, I just put it through showing time. I turned those off. Why? No. Why would you turn show? Don't you want your confirmation? Don't you want that your showing was confirmed? I mean, don't you want to know what's going on? Why would you opt out of that?
I don't know, but it's funny when I do it, when I put highest and best and 57 people showed the home and I'm only sending it out to 20. Yeah. It's just started going on my listings because again, that's how I do. That's how I run my business.
So, Ricky, EXP. You were with Keller Williams before EXP.
Yes.
Have you ever been with an independent company?
No. I started with Rand Realty 8.5 years ago. And from Rand, I went to Keller. Never thought I was going to leave Keller, honestly.
Rand was independent then, wasn't they?
No.
They were Prudential Rands. Before that, they were Century 21 Rand, and now they're Better Homes. Better Homes and Gardens, and now they're Howard Hanna Rand.
Yeah.
They were never independent? They were never independent?
Don't think so. I don't think so. Going back to the 80s, they've always been affiliated. Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I said, when I went them, they were Better Homes and Gardens. And then
by the way, Joe Rand said the funniest thing on Facebook the other day. So someone said something about, stripping to earn your way through college or something like that. And Joe said, I can tell you from personal experience that you may not always be able to make enough money. Something like that.
Oh, one of my agents sent me.
That's funny.
That is hysterical.
That right there is funny.
Sent me a GIF that was. She's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna end up having to go strip or whatever," and it's a GIF of some woman like getting up on the pole and the pole breaking and falling.
That would happen if I, took this shirt off.
Hey, listen, Phil, I'd love to see it.
Ricky, let's both put on leggings and do like the full Monty.
Oh, you should wear those leggings.
Yoga pants on.
You should definitely wear the leggings with the bulge and do it. Uh-oh,
no one would notice.
Don't encourage him.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I've already done the drag thing, but my wardrobe of choice was a muumuu.
Well, one year he forgot my birthday, so I signed him up for the Mr. Legs contest.
And I was robbed. The guy who won didn't even show his legs. The guy who won,
he wore fake boobs. It was genius.
It was a Mr. Legs contest.
Not everybody likes boobs over legs. It's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say boobs always trump legs.
No, I'm a Southern Hemisphere kind of guy.
Okay.
This
I
is
am.
what we do really well together. He has no interest in me.
Well, the question is, did you shave your legs at least?
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever shaved my legs. No.
Well, that's why you lost.
But I don't think that Sander shaved his legs either. Well, we'll never know because he didn't show his legs.
Yeah,
Sander.
He had fake boobs. All right, we really digress. So I thought we'd have a little conversation about independent and versus franchise, but you can't really compare it because you've never been with an independent, which I don't know why I thought you were.
No, I mean, the only difference I can compare is, like you said, being from Rand, which is traditional, to non-traditional, right? I mean, that's the only thing I've been part of,
right?
Agent-centric, I mean, that's the two difference that, for me, I don't understand. I mean, I love what you guys have done with your capping and everything else. I just don't understand when an agent's with a traditional company and, 60% of their earnings goes to the broker. I don't understand that. And I don't understand when they don't have full control of everything. I don't understand that either.
Neither do we.
Yeah, no, we're very agent-centric. We've definitely copied a lot of our stuff from different franchises around the country and taken the best of all worlds. But did I ever tell you my theory on like EXP and some of these other companies?
Uh-oh.
Well, no, it's just like people, like agents leave and they go. They think it's made for, and I've said this before on this show, like Zillow is so successful because agents don't want to do their job. If agents were lead generating all day long, every agent that was licensed, Zillow would not be in business, period. So a company like EXP comes along and makes such a big boom. It's not for people like you who have some influence, top producers. Yeah, you're going to go over there and you're going to kill it with the recruiting. But the bulk of agents are not. And you're not going to leave one company and do nothing and go to a new company. And now you have to actually sell real estate and recruit. So you're just going to fail miserably at two things. And not make any money.
Well, but my question is, right, I always said,
like someone who does 4 deals is so concerned about their percentage of commission, and they go to these companies that are going to give them 100% commission, but no training, no support. You'll end up going down in deals.
Well, I mean, for me, I always said, like, my daughter plays ice hockey, and she was the easiest part of recruiting for people to come to different teams, right? Because she was a good kid, she could skate, she could play hockey, right? It's the same thing in real estate. The reason, for me to recruit, I think I'm a decent realtor. I try to get back to everybody. I try to treat everybody with respect. And I'm hoping just with that, if somebody asks a question, they come over from there. But I'm not ultimately going, you want to come? You want to come? I want to make $2,700 off you this year. You want to come?
You're a productive agent. So you didn't go over there with that there are people who are going to think, oh, I don't really need to do what I need to do in real estate because I can just recruit a bunch of people. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you could probably already recognize who, right? If you think about it. So it just cracks me up. Like, just do your job. Just lead generate. Just lead generate. And it doesn't really matter. I agree with you. You don't want to be, if you are a true lead generator, a true rainmaker, a traditional company is never going to work for you because you can't expand. You can't afford to. But if you're a single agent and you are in a good spot, I don't think, typical single agent isn't going to leave that much money behind on the table because they're not.
But you'd be amazed how many people think I'm going to get into real estate and the company's going to give me leads. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I just had another conversation with somebody else. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get into real estate. I go, oh, that's great. They go, you're doing well. Like, I'm going to do what you're doing. I'm like, all right, but it takes 3 to 5 years to build your business. Then they go, what do you mean? They go, isn't the company just going to give me leads? I go, it doesn't work like that. I go, you should really, anybody who's getting into real estate should really look into it. I mean, I was just on Ricky Caruth's podcast, and the last thing he asked me is like, what would you tell a new agent what they should be doing? I said, well, there's 2 things. 1, build your database, and 2, be a great listener. Right? I think that's the biggest thing in this industry. Nobody listens. Everybody's so worried about getting to the next deal or getting to the next part. They're not listening to their client. And I think that's why the failures happen. Right? So I said, those are my 2 things. Database, work it as hard as you can, and just listen.
You got 2 of these and 1 of those.
That's
use it in that proportion.
A lot of tone deaf agents out there right now. I mean, look, and I feel like we're hurting our industry like you wouldn't. First of all, if I was a seller right now, I wouldn't list my house with the broker. I'd be like, this is so easy. There's lines around the block and they're selling in 2 days, $50 million over asking price. Why would I pay somebody when I can do that myself? That's the message the industry is sending to sellers.
Well,
it's an inaccurate message. This is the largest transaction of your life. Should never be a do-it-yourself project. And if you do it on your own,
we just make it sound like it's so easy. We just put it on. Like, this is one of the most difficult markets there is to navigate. And we're forgetting about how many people are hurting in this market. There's so many families that are missing out and cannot find or get a house. And that's
I have a question for you. When do you think the bottom's going to drop? I have a date. I have a date in my mind.
Okay.
July 15th. I think by July 15th, you're going to start seeing a pull. And the reason why is because, and this is what I think. Our normal market, right, is usually May to like middle of July. It's usually our hottest market. Why? Because people are leaving schools. They got to try to figure out where they're going to put their kid. The kids are done with school. I want to get out of the state. There's so many different things. That's why this time is so important, right? Well, one of the things I said back in January, talking to a couple of agents, I go, once the vaccination starts coming out, right, the people from New York City are not going to come in droves because they're vaccinated, right? The rent roll is low. They're going to stay in New York City, so we're not going to have that push anymore. But the biggest thing is the moratorium, the tax liens, people haven't paid their mortgage. All these short sales are going to come on. And guess what? Boom. The market has a lot more listings on it. And I think it's really going to start happening on July 15th. I know I'm personally talking about 125. What?
Are you saying that's when the moratorium is out?
I don't know when it's out, but I just see my prediction, July 15th. I think you're going to start seeing the craziness really take a huge step back. Wow. And then anybody thinks that this is going to happen for another year and a half, I think you're crazy.
Well, I'm with you on the moratorium. So there's 2 sides to this. There's the
wait, hold on one second before you answer. I hate to do this, but my granddaughter just showed up at my house. You guys are going to have to continue this conversation on your own, and I love you both, and it's very important, but not as important as my granddaughter just pulling up at my house.
All right, go.
You're not going to show her to the world?
Go, grandma.
It's a little complicated. It's not easy like that. I don't get my daughter very often.
All right, go.
All right, well, you enjoy.
Go, grandma.
I'm sorry. I would never do it.
Bye. All right. So I'm with you on the moratorium. And there's 2 angles we come from. You touched on both of them. There's the supply, beg your pardon, there's the demand angle, which is where's our fertile ground? It is people coming up from the city dwellers coming up to the suburbs. So that's one side of the equation. And the other side of the equation you touched on is the moratorium, the supply side. We have a very low supply. So when you have an exodus of people from the city, that collides with a dearth of inventory. Now you're going to get 37 offers, right, on 4 listings. So when the supply starts to enlarge, because what's going to happen, it's not just we have an REO department in the company. We have dozens of listings we can't put on yet because the bank's hands are tied with the moratoriums. It's not just that, though. It's not just the bank-owned stuff. It is the folks who are in forbearance. It is the folks who have been caught in the COVID economy, who are, unemployed, their business has failed, whatever. They're no longer protected by the moratoriums, and they're not going to wait for the bank to come and foreclose. They're uncomfortable with being behind on their payments. They're uncomfortable with dwindling savings, and they're going to liquidate. And they're going to be a lot more motivated than the guys out here who, expect a bidding war all the time.
And I agree with you. And that's why, to me, I've said,
you nailed it.
And that's the biggest thing. And again, I hear it all the time, and again, if you're a buyer's agent dealing with a lot of buyers, you don't see it because you're just in the struggle trying to find that home for whatever buyers you have. But as I do mostly listings, we're seeing it. We're seeing the slowdown already. I'm not getting, the crazy number besides a couple of houses that, that people want. But I know I do a lot of short sales. And again, I have a list of 125 people right now that we're going to be putting on in the next year and a half. And this is coming. It's real life. And every day I'm getting another phone call. Oh, we got another one. What does it say?
Florida craziness. Yeah, it's crazy in all the markets, though. There's no doubt about it. There's no sane market. Florida, Texas, Las Vegas, Southern California, Northern California, Chicago, Iowa, Wyoming. It's all
but Florida, right? Like Florida, Tennessee, Texas. Why is everybody running to them? Well, mostly people are running there is because of the tax. What is it called? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It's
lower
the
tax.
Income tax. Yeah, the income tax.
Lower taxes and affordability.
Yeah, so people can retire knowing they're not going to get taxed on their retirement, right? Mm-hmm. So we know that, but now everybody's going there. Miami is booming. Austin's booming. Nashville's booming right now.
You've been to Austin because you were with KW, right?
What?
You've been to Austin, right?
I love Austin, but I just had a friend go down there this weekend for his daughter's hockey tournament. He said 6th Street is strictly looks like Seattle right now. With the tents and the drugs. It actually broke my heart. I hope it's not true.
That's a shame.
I hope it, because it's a beautiful, unbelievable. I love that city. I told my wife that's where I want to move. Yeah. And it breaks my heart to hear what he just told me.
That is a sad thing because I was there in the summer of '87. I lived there, and even back then, 6th Street was awesome.
The bands, it's the atmosphere. It's
the music scene.
It's Days and Confused, right?
Yeah.
You ever watch that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great movie. I mean, but again, but that's it, right? I mean, why are these the most hit? Why is it the fastest growing cities? Well, again, coming from New York where you're taxed on everything, you want to go somewhere that you can retire and not be taxed on anything. And the problem is now the shortage. And then you have the lumber issue. Now you have the nail issue or the tile issue that nobody can get because of COVID, which I just read an article that the lumber's coming down.
Well, it had to, right? It couldn't stay up. What goes up must come down.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Bitcoin came down.
Well, that's another problem. That's energy, right? That's the energy. And did you just read what Golden Sachs said, that Ethereum is the future?
Yeah, because it's a greener form of crypto. Isn't that
nuts? And you can trade it easier and, protected and stuff like that. So, but this is not about crypto.
31,000 BitTorrent tokens right here. So
what kind?
BitTorrent tokens.
Yeah. But again, but that's going to happen, right? At some point, crypto is going to be in our market, right? If it's not already.
I would say it probably is, but the whole point of crypto is that why would they tell everybody, right? So somebody asked in one of the forums, would you accept crypto for commission or even for property you were selling. And depending on the type, yes, I would take Bitcoin. I would take Ethereum. I wouldn't take Dogecoin. I wouldn't take BitTorrent, token or whatever it is.
Well, you're not in the Doge community right now. You look like, come on, you're not a Doge guy. I mean,
I love dogs. I take great amusement in that whole scene, but I'm also in the Warren Buffett school that I put my money in something I understand.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's very volatile. I mean, it's amazing. I'm watching people go absolutely nuts. One day it's high, then it's low, and it's high, then low.
2 weeks ago, Bitcoin was trading at $60,000. Mm-hmm. It went down to $33,000 as of a few days. I think it's at 37,000 right now.
37, yeah. But look at Year in Finance. It was at 81,000 a week and a half ago.
That's crazy. So as much as I would like to continue this, we've got to wrap this up because it's a crazy busy Monday. It has been a real pleasure talking to you. And you said a lot of valuable things, but I'm going to reiterate 2 of the things you said. People need to do their own due diligence. And I'm talking to you, buyer agents. You need to do your own due diligence about the tax questions. And buyer agents also need to make sure that they are opting into all communications through the showing platforms, because I don't want to hear that you didn't get the email, and I'm not going to call you. We don't have time for this. The systems are in place for a reason. Use the systems. Let us use the systems. Let us do our job. So any final thought, parting shot you'd like to make, Ricky? You will get the final word before we wrap this up.
I mean, all I can say is right now that, if you're an agent and you should really know your market, you should understand where the foreclosures are right now, because I think the market's going to change very quickly in certain areas. So, I mean, if you're a local like us in New York, you should really understand what's going on in your taxes, and go to the town, find out how many foreclosures there are going to happen, and really understand the market. Because once it happens, I think it's going to happen very quickly, and, things are going to change. I've always been told when I got into real estate, the high is the high. It's great, going to make a lot of money, but when it's really low, you better have some savings.
Hell yeah. On that note, we will wrap it up. Thank you, Ricky, Albert, for coming on the broadcast. As you can tell, it was quite unscripted, wasn't it?
Oh, no, it's great. I mean, if you guys ever want me to come back on, I would love to. I always love talking to you guys.
Likewise.
Where's Jen at? Where's she at again?
Say it again.
Where'd Jen go again? Oh, I just want to make sure.
Here, granddaughter.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Granddaughter. All right. Thank you, Tim. You're gonna. Yes.